Okay, so we're not going live because the thing about remote locations is there is no internet, which is fantastic and not fantastic all at the same time. So here we are, again, Hester Garden Park in Seabrook, Texas. I just wanted to not wait until I got to the destination. I wanted to bring you guys on the journey. So there's a little creek bed here, cool little bridge. I always loved the way that tree roots created stepping stones. Just want to take a minute to listen to the rustle of the leaves, to notice the signs of humanity and their trash. Please pack in and pack out. Also, we're not far from civilization. You can hear the cars, and just noticing the sounds in your environment and learning to embrace them. Little pine trees. So I think I'm so fascinated by these little pine trees because we were just in the East Texas piney woods full of gigantic pine trees, and I honestly can say I had no idea that we had pine trees in Galveston County. I mean, I knew there were little patches here and there, but anyway, just noticing. Awareness. So today, I'm gonna set us up. Got my basket to gather materials. We're gonna do a little breathing exercise, and then we're going to create a nature mandala today. Look, Isaac's joining us today. Say hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Somebody's leaving little treasures and surprises in the forest. How cool. What a great idea. What is this? I want to know more. And it's a little bird. Birds are my favorite. Okay, Ninja Isaac. So finding your playfulness in nature. Reconnecting with that childlike sense of wonder. It's a way to be mindful of what you need. So this little nook is just calling to me, and my childlike playfulness, I can remember creating forts in nature, and I thought shelter was the coolest thing ever. I don't know why, but
Forts.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going to
protect it.
Will you grab the blanket?
Sure.
Nature provides everything you need. So I did not have a walking stick, and then we found this little bamboo what do you call a bamboo what?
I don't know. Probably thicket.
Yeah, a bamboo thicket? Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know. I'm certainly no naturalist,
Definitely
but someone correct me if you know the term.
an area.
I'm open to dialogue and discussion.
One really cool thing about bamboo in a survival situation, you know me, I always go there, is that if you were really thirsty, lower portion of the bamboo, of course having your knife would be ideal. This portion, because of how much water bamboo pulls out of the ground, the roots are just about as deep as you see the stalk up
Oh,
as in the ground. And it pulls water into these columns. And where each one of these lines are is a separate chamber from the next. So if you were to, say, cut this piece out, this portion would die, but this portion would live and grow new shoots. But inside this column, if you're lucky, it stores water.
Wow.
So you can find water inside these columns as you break them apart and cut them open.
So the mosquitoes are pretty bad, I'm noticing.
Sun's going down.
Yeah. So, just gonna set us up. Here. We get to be part of a whole process of setting up today. Do you want to come do a little mindfulness exercise with me? Will you check?
Yeah, you're in a perfect place. Yeah.
Okay.
Call this the mosquito mantra.
Yeah, it's everything's a teacher though, right? And if we're really embracing that with traffic and eating, oh, I need to turn that mic around. Then we have to embrace the mosquitoes.
Sorry if there's a lot of feedback coming from me.
I can get it. Hopefully my sound is good. I will talk loud. I feel like I should probably fix that.
Okay.
So let's start with our regular soft belly breathing. You don't have to sit cross-legged if that's not comfortable for you. You can always trust what your body is telling you. Sit however you need to, lay however you need to. If you need support, seek it out. If you want to sit up against a wall, do so. And let's just tune in. Letting your eyes softly close. If that's comfortable, and if not, picking one pointed focus to gently soften your gaze. manipulating, just noticing your breath, the temperature in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now bringing some intention, breathing in through our nose, soft, filling up our belly like a balloon with air, and breathing out through our mouth, belly. Breathing in soft, and breathing out, belly. Just taking in the sounds, the rustle of the leaves, the birds in the distance. Just giving yourself permission to tune in to that inner knowing, that inner being, and as always, using your breath as your anchor, breathing in soft and breathing out belly. Gently awakening your body with a little movement, wiggling your fingers, maybe doing some gentle neck stretches from side to side. Take your left ear down to your left shoulder and your left hand over your right ear, and just bring a gentle stretch to your neck, coming back to center, taking your right ear down to your right shoulder, your right hand to your left ear, and bringing a gentle stretch, and coming back to center. Remembering your breath in and out. So I started my morning with one of my teachers, Snatam Kaur. I always pronounce it wrong, but she took us through one of my favorite breathing techniques, alternate nostril breathing. And so that was my reminder to share that with you all today. And so we'll take our hands in the shaka, and we're going to close down our left nostril with our pinky finger, and we're going to breathe in through our right nostril. Now close your right nostril with your thumb and breathe out through your left. Closing the left with your pinky, breathing in through your right. Closing the right with your thumb, out through your left. Helps to have a tissue available sometimes. Back in through your right and out through your left. 3 more times. Breathing in deep through your right nostril and out through your left. Out through your left. Last one, in through your right and out through your left. Now we're going to switch it up, and we're going to go in through our left and out through our right. as Isaac demonstrates, I'm going to just talk you through. So the neuroscience behind what we're doing here is integrating the hemispheres of the brain. I'm also very aware of the opportunity that the mosquitoes are giving us to practice patience and to find humor. Everything is an opportunity to practice awareness, noticing what emotions come up, and bringing ourselves back to our breath as our anchor. 2 more times. Deep inhale and long exhale. The more we lengthen our exhale, we activate and initiate our parasympathetic response of rest and digest. So let's just do a shoulder shrug. I had a teacher who used to say, take your shoulder earrings off. But let's put our shoulder earrings on. And a big sigh out. Release your shoulders. Maybe you want to make an audible sound. Breathing in and releasing. Finding a rhythm in the sound, finding a rhythm in your movement and your breath, maybe trying to connect the two. Thinking of Breath of Fire and how energizing that is. So that was kind of what we were doing with our shoulders at that time. And I think now my emotion is I'm getting tired of the mosquitoes, and I'm gonna honor that.
I didn't inhale any.
That's good. Don't speak too soon. I'm surprised I haven't got one in my nose or mouth. So next we're going to move into gathering materials for our nature mandala. And so I have a few notes that I want to share and a little reading. So I want to share this book, Morning Altars. By Day Schildkret. So the 7 movements for a morning altars practice. Clearly this is at morning, and you can do this at any time of day, but just things to take into mind as you gather materials wherever you are. Maybe you're on campus, maybe you're in your backyard, maybe you're taking a stroll through the city streets and just noticing found materials. Again, it's just tapping into that awareness and that idea of whatever crosses our path probably has some meaning and purpose if we choose to see it that way. Choice. So number 1 says wander and wonder. This is a treasure hunt that transforms the mundane into the magical as you forage the treasures that will fill your altar. And so sometimes when we think of altar, we think of this religious or spiritual context, and spirit is whatever you make it. What is your intention? What is your altar? Are you creating an altar to appreciate nature? Are you, it's just important for you to tap in to what is true for you, because that may not be true for somebody else. Doesn't mean it's bad or wrong. It's just acknowledging what you can control. Your sphere of control is you. Your thoughts, your actions, your words, your responses. And so my invitation is to notice the beauty and the wonder in the spaces that you might take for granted, or that are hard to find beauty and wonder. And how can we leave a space better than we found it? How can we create something as an act of kindness and share that beauty with another random stranger, just in aesthetics, like out of found materials, creating beauty out of the natural. The here and now is all we can control and be aware of. With all the uncertainty I've mentioned before that is happening in our world right now, it is ever more important for us to be able to be in the here and the now and be present. And so this nature mandala gathering, I just want you to set an intention for yourself, for what you might want someone to gather out of you sharing this. And use the next 10 minutes wherever you are to gather some materials with intention, noticing what you notice, listening, noticing the sounds, mindfully walking, slowly without urgency. So the number 2 was to practice listening to the place that calls you. Sit on the earth and experience a place meditation. Connect more deeply to where you are and witness the place come alive as it might have never before. 3, clear. Use a brush or your hand to connect with the earth and clear a space at your feet and reveal a blank canvas. It is an act that helps you clear space so that a new creative inspiration can flow in again. It's all play, like we said, that childlike sense of wonder, connecting with that. It shouldn't only be reserved for when we're children. Explore shapes and patterns as you learn the language of how to bring together many different pieces into one gorgeous work of art, which is what the universe is doing all the time. It's part of why I love this tattoo so much. There's so much meaning behind this mandala. I commissioned an artist in Austin to put together my son, my husband, and myself, our birth charts, and her interpretation in the colors and how they all come together so beautifully to create this beautiful piece of art that has so much meaning. But just letting all the pieces come together. 5, gift. Practicing that generosity that we spoke of. Thinking of the intention that you have in leaving this for others to find. Learn to set an intention. Devote it as an offering not only for your life or as a celebration of your family's well-being or as a prayer, as a gift to your ancestors, or as a way to mark an occasion. 6, share. Not only are you sharing in the public space for whoever comes upon it, photograph it. And share your beauty making and intentions with your friends, community, or even with the people on the path whom you've never met. 7, this is a big one, and I think something that we've all really had to learn this year in 2020. Let go. Practice walking away. Bearing witness to the impermanence of the art is an exercise that will strengthen your capacity for unattachment, grace, and change. Nothing is permanent. So with all of those things in mind, I release you to go gather materials. I'm going to do the same, and we'll come back and I'll share with you our nature mandalas. So, I'll let Isaac share his first. Wow. That is really beautiful. Do you have anything? What came up for you as you were creating this?
So I started with the sticks almost in the sense of framing it in, and realized that I was in a sense creating a shelter or walls, which was sort of a symbol of the whole thing. Kind of ended up a symbol of what we're going through right now, which we're all dealing with fear. We're all dealing with a pandemic and the worry that comes with that, the quarantines and the staying at home, and we've had time to reflect and spend a lot of time inside. So it kind of became a symbol of what that looks like from the perspective of the change that we all went through. So for me, I laid down pine needles inside. This was kind of my shelter and protection. The rocks are the people in my life that are solid to me, that I keep in my circle. The pine needles are kind of a soft comfort for all of us. They're obviously in a circle of fellowship and communication. I think it's been a really big thing through this process of being able to give each other feedback of how we're feeling and accepting each other where we're at, because everybody's kind of all over right now. And the wreath to me was green, and that was kind of the circle of vision of growth, and keeping the focus on the fact that this isn't forever. Like, there's growth happening when you don't think growth is happening. And furthermore, with that being said, you have to plant seeds, and metaphorically speaking and literally speaking, in order for things to grow. And the pine cones on the outside are real tight. They're closed in. They don't feel safe. They're not aged. They haven't let go of their seeds. They're holding them tight. Whereas the one in the center is surrounded by love and communication and comfort and a vision of growth, and therefore is relaxing and opening up and sharing its seeds for the hope and manifestation that maybe it will grow and create more growth, a better future,
Exponential expansiveness.
a better future, really,
That was really beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel some self-judgment coming up because mine is not as intricate as Isaac's, or conceptual, but kind of. So I just gathered leaves around this already existing mushroom.
Cool.
And the cycles. And to me, what's coming up is the symbolism of circle as safety and protection, And I added that Y that we found on our path as a reminder that at the center of the circle of safety, there's choices and there's forks in the road, and being mindful of what path we choose. This reminds me of the cycle of life and death, growth, rebirth. And the spikes on the outside I just kind of added for fun visual interest. But I'm noticing that reaching and that expansion, and so that's kind of the symbolism and what can happen when you give yourself time to play in nature. It's an important way to be mindful of our surroundings. And so with that, we'll say goodbye and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday.